Hey, hello, and welcome back. I am Debbie Peterson of Getting to Clarity, and this is another episode of the Getting to Clarity Show. This is a place that you want to be if you are new to leadership, or perhaps if you want to up-level your leadership skills a bit, because you want to get the tips, tools, and techniques that you need to create more of an impact in your leadership with less of a sacrifice to who you are and your life. So today we are talking about a topic that we cannot evade: change. Leading through change with clarity-driven communication. So we're talking about effective communication in times of change or crisis. So when change is happening or a crisis hits, the importance of leadership communication is magnified exponentially. So the way that you communicate during these moments can either calm the storm or it's going to add fuel to the fire. So whether it's organizational change or it's unexpected external change or a crisis, leaders are looked upon for guidance, reassurance, and clarity. Yet, this is the place where many leaders falter, not only because they don't have the answers, but because they don't communicate those answers clearly, quickly, or frequently enough. Here is my rule. Say it now, and say it often. Why does this matter? Because in times of uncertainty, your team is going to turn to you for stability. If you are not giving them clear communication, then they're going to fill in the gaps with assumptions, rumors, or worst-case scenarios. So as Simon Sinek says, great leaders are willing to sacrifice their own personal interests for the good of the team. And in a crisis, this means prioritizing transparent communication over your own discomfort or fear of not having all the answers. So what effective communication looks like in time or change of crisis? What would that look like? Effective communication in times of change or crisis requires clarity, empathy, and consistency. It is not just about delivering information, but it is about doing it in a way that reassures your team and keeps them focused. So there's an old saying that comes to mind, and that is, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that is never more important than in a crisis. Empathy and honesty matter just as much as the message itself. So years ago, I worked for a publicly traded company, and we faced a significant challenge. Our company had run into just a little bit of trouble with the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission. Now, during this time, communication became our lifeline. We had to keep our communication open with our employees, our investors, and our customers. Everybody had to be informed. But even when we didn't have all of the answers, because this was a months-long process getting out from under this. Every day, it felt like a whirlwind of uncertainty. But one lesson that stuck with me was the importance of saying it now, saying it often, even if all we could say was we're working on it and we'll keep you updated. People appreciated the communication even if the message was less than positive. At least they were hearing something. You know, the truth is, in times of change or crisis, silence is not golden. Silence breeds fear, uncertainty, rumors. That is why you need to communicate early and often and be as transparent as possible, okay? With whatever it is that you know and about maybe perhaps what you don't know yet. So who needs to hear this the most? I would say everyone. But if you find yourself in a period of change or crisis, this message is crucial for you, especially if you're an emerging leader or a new manager or supervisor and you've never been through this before. So if you're stepping into a leadership role for the first time, you may feel pressure to have all the answers. But let me tell you, you don't need to have all the answers. You just need to communicate what you do know with clarity, empathy, and consistency. So think of someone, maybe a specific someone, who effectively communicates during a crisis. A leader who doesn't shy away from the tough conversation, but steps up and communicates regularly. keeping people informed and reassured. So for me, this person was a colleague during my time in the corporate world. They were calm and steady, and that type of communication gave me and our team a sense of direction, even when everything still felt chaotic. So if you're new to leadership, I recommend finding someone, a mentor, a peer, a trusted coworker who can offer guidance on how to navigate these moments, because you will experience them. And if they have been through significant change or even crises before, then they possibly have strategies that they can share for staying composed and communicating effectively, especially under pressure. So how do you communicate effectively during change or crisis? So glad you asked, because I have some simple steps, actionable steps for you, if you are a new leader, to follow when communicating when there is a change or a crisis. First, you want to be transparent, even when you don't have all the answers. It is okay to say, I don't have all the details yet. What matters most is that you're honest and that you keep the communication lines open. Let your team know that you're working on getting answers. Let them know what you discover as far as timing, and they'll appreciate your transparency. Next, you want to stick to the facts. Avoid at all costs speculation, because when you are speculating in times of crisis, it creates confusion. People need clarity, not speculation. So focus on sharing what you know to be true. If something is uncertain, then acknowledge that it is, but don't speculate or make promises, especially that you can't keep. Next, you want to communicate frequently. As I said earlier, say it now, and say it often. Silence is the enemy for you. Even if there are no major updates, just touching base regularly reassures people that you are still aware and engaged in the situation. So John Maxwell, a leadership expert, says a leader is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Staying visible in times like this is part of showing the way. Next, consider showing empathy and understanding. Crises are stressful for everyone involved. So acknowledge what it is that your team may be feeling. There's going to be emotions there. And when you address their concerns with empathy, then they get to feel that you see them. You get an opportunity to build trust, and it creates more cohesiveness, more unity within your team. So remember, leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge, especially in times of uncertainty. So finally, let's talk about providing clear, actionable next steps. So after sharing the information that you need to regarding to whatever change or crisis is going on, give your team clear guidance on what to do next, even if it's just as simple as stay the course, remain focused on your current projects. Actionable advice like that helps to prevent panic and keeps everyone just a little more grounded. So what can you do? Well, you might not be experiencing change or crisis right now, but in the next 48 hours, what is something that you can do to connect with your team, to address an uncertainty, to give you an opportunity to say, I hear what you're asking, I don't have the answers, but I'm going to go find out. How is it that you can say it now, say it often, and be that leader who creates a cohesive communication strategy in times of change or crisis? So I hope these tips have helped you. And if you want more information on leadership strategies or communication leadership strategies, then head on over to my website at www.debbiepetersonspeaks.com. And until the next time, here is wishing you all the clarity that you deserve to create the impact that you desire. Take care, and bye-bye for now.